Hello, hello, and welcome in, Max. How are you? Happy Friday. It is. The sun is shining in the window here. Although I have the blinds down, but it's still very, very bright. Oh, my crash count. Oh, can't be having that. Did that work? No. Hey, Zuperdan! Cheers, Slancha. I'm just. Why is my crash counter not working? There we go. There we go. Welcome in, guys. Hope you are well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. What else? Yeah. So I'm gonna finish this today. Maybe. I got myself some wine. The eagle-eyed viewers out there will notice that this is the same bottle that I opened last week. Hopefully, I did seal it off with a little vacuum stopper. Hopefully it's still okay. Smells all right. Let's give it a go. Anyway, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh, I'm glad it's Friday. And yeah. Hawk Chill, welcome in. How are you? Hope you're well. My camera's a bit. Wait, where is it? There we go. Is that better? Yeah, that'll do. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you are all well and having a good week and have wonderful plans for the weekend. I am going to do some coding, and I'm going to finish this off. Now, I was having a little bit of a look at this earlier, and because I realized that there's some minor optimizations that I should do. Because how the game works is it does dirty big blitz, very few blitz, but big ones. Like let me see if we run it here. So I've turned off the copper background just for now, and I am so I'm just running colors on the background so I can see what's taking up the time. So okay, this is in faster. If I go to do cycle exact speed, so you can see that I'm brute forcing this. I'm drawing the menu in real time in a double buffered, so all four of those lines are being drawn at the same time. And you can see what's happening is when three lines are being drawn, that's almost all my blitter time, and when the fourth line comes along, that's enough to push it out of 50 frames a second, and that's why the timing's really weird. So yeah, Windigo, welcome in. How are you? Slancha. Cheers. So you can see here, and this is a very wonderful technique for doing your frame timings and stuff like that. What's happening is, I don't know if you can see my Windows pointer. So it's basically taking that much of the frame, all the red, to do the blitting when there are 3 lines, and when there are 4 lines, that is enough to push it over the end and overlap into the next frame, which means that we drop into 25 frames a second, and that's why the timing for the flashing is a little weird. Yeah, all good. Busy week in work as always, but we have arrived safely at the weekend, and it's great. I had some currywurst for dinner today. It was a bit of a treat dinner. Say, what have we got? I had currywurst. It's tasty. But yeah, so we're gonna have to try and optimize this. So you see, when we've only got 3 things being drawn, we're taking up a little bit more than 3/4 of the frame with blitting of the rest of the things. So I'm not that worried about the menu because nothing important is happening, I suppose. Oh, I didn't actually mean to press it. But let's compile. Oh god, we're in snail mode again. I have to turn the speed back up for it, or it'll never compile. See the speed of press fire there, and if I press fire, you can see that's the intended flash speed. And what we have is now I'm just moving that to cycle exact. We're back to this. So if we run the game itself, it's actually fine. And but what we're doing is we have the if I pause this, basically what it's doing is splitting that shape as a one single big rectangle. I think it's even bigger than that size. So it's a big shape, and I'm using 5-bit planes as well. So it's kind of it's taken up a lot of DMA time, which is why the blitting is so slow. If I was doing it on a 4-bit plane screen, it would be much better. But what happens is, when I unpause this, you'll see it's running fine. It's 50 frames a second. We've got plenty of time left in the frame until we do this and we start falling away. So all of a sudden, it's doing 2 blits of that tile. So this tile here, so it's suddenly doing this, whatever it is, 150 by 100 pixel blit, and it's doing 2 of them. It's doing one for the original tile and one for the falling tile. And the reason for that is that the falling tile should go behind the original tile sometimes, like here. So it goes behind, just for, you know, keeping the 3D effect going. And that means that both of them being drawn, and that's just too much for it just overlaps into the next frame. So it gets extra complicated because these numbers, I only have 2 of them, and if you go to 3 digits, it has to blit the 3rd digit because I'm using sprites. So that's another issue. So I've been looking to try and optimize it, and I'll show you what I've been doing. So when the entire tile is falling, it doesn't need to draw the original tile, so it isn't a problem. And what's happening here is this should all be red because it's blitting one big rectangle and a second big rectangle. That should be all red, but the palette gets reset around this point on the screen, so it goes back to black. And that's just what happens. I'm setting the colors too early in the frame. But the green is kind of the game logic, so that happens after the blitting, and that's taken up. It's fine. It's not a concern. Anyways, I haven't actually put the timing stripes into this, but I will at some point. Oh, flashy. Right, so let's put this back up to full speed. And yeah, so back to full speed now. So what I've done is, so the draw blocks routine used to just draw the block into the shape, and then we would do the get a shape after that statement has run. And for example, down here, so you see it would go draw block, and it would give the block coordinates, or the block size X, block size Y, the block color. I can't remember what this mask is. Oh, is it the direction? I can't remember. And then, oh, it's the options. It's like, is it wireframe? Is it just wireframe? What's the third one? Polygons. So it's wireframe and polygon. And then this I've added now is the shape that should be used, because sometimes we call it get a shape 0, sometimes we call it get a shape 1, and getting them mixed up, as I found earlier, is bad news. So what I wanted to do is I've moved them into the routine itself. Because I want to do a little bit of a calculation on it, so that the blit is only as big as it needs to be. Now, for that to happen, I need to take into account a few things. Front edge. So what's happening is my front edge is 100 across and 199 down. So basically the shape ends up being XY width and height. So it's 101 by 60, which actually isn't that big, to be honest. And 50 by 59 is the coordinate. So max H would be the height of the shape. So as the shape gets smaller, that should go away, because ultimately, if I can make the shape no bigger than it needs to be, it should almost balance out. It won't quite, because they're overlapping because of the isometric nature of it. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to reduce the blitting time enough to be able to keep the 50 frames a second. So what I do up at the top of this routine is I calculate all the, that's my polygon, I calculate all of these things here. Maximum height is basically is a coordinate on the bitmap of where the top of the shape is, because the bottom corner is where the handle is. So it's, it's as an isometric view, the bottom corner is the actual coordinate of the shape, if you like, and then everything above that is just kind of above it. So the bitmap is much bigger than it needs to be. That's no problem. It's the shape that we need to calculate the shape, limit of the shape. So our maximum height is there, and the top X is how far along the top X point is. I'm using 32 colors Zuperdan. So yes, I could speed it up dramatically by dropping it to 16 colors, but I don't really want to do that, because I want to keep the colors. I want to keep the colors of the blocks changing as it goes up, and each block is basically 3 colors, because it's got sort of a bright, medium, and dark sides for the 3 different sides. So basically 3, by that means I've got a maximum of like basically 10 colors, and it's 9 colors realistically, because I'm using the background and then black and then white, and sorry, 3 grays as well. So I've got a few. I don't have that many colors. If I did it in wireframe, I could do it much quicker, but then it's in wireframe, you don't want that. So yeah, so basic polygons without any fancy tricks with the copper. That's where I am. Yeah. So I could do a Seekonoid version, just have it in black and white, or an original Elite version, and have it running beautifully in black and white. Or I could switch to AGA and have. It would probably be the same speed to do it in AGA, and have all the colors for all the different blocks. Have every block a different color. Hello, Hardwired. Welcome in. Cheers. Happy wine day. Hope you're well. So I'm doing a little bit of optimization here. Ham8 was mentioned. Was I drunk when I mentioned that? You really need my help. Okay, swap. What's going on? What's going on? Having problems on exit. Oh, you're freeing memory that you shouldn't be freeing, or not freeing memory that you should be freeing. It's usually one or the other. Oh, 8.1. That's I have to look up the tables for that one. That's not one of the usual ones. Let me see. What? Guru codes. Oh, Bambi Amiga's down. So some pages don't have the full. All goes well to the end. Yeah. So it's usually because something isn't being freed properly. So 8.1 is exec library, and then the Guru code is 0009. Let's see. I see there are more detailed guide here. Let's see. Jesus. Different pages are not working well. So yeah, that's not working. Media history, but I'm going to wager that is freeing memory that shouldn't be freed. Oh, come on. This is the same thing. So that's the first part. Graphics exec.library is the first part. We know that. Oh, where are this one's promising. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, you were freeing memory before it being freed. Well, you know what? Have you tried posting it in the Discord? And there's not only I'll be there, but Zuperdan and a few other people will be there as well. I would say that's probably the best place to try and get help on it. But what's happening is memory's being freed twice. So you freed memory. Do I have the thing set up? Yeah, there we go. Tell me if that code doesn't work, because I'll generate a new one. So what's happening is you're freeing memory somewhere, and then then whatever's happening in Blitz Basic, it's trying to free that memory again, and that's the problem. That's bad news. Bad news. It's basically a dead end error for the Amiga. So why that is happening, it could be a bug in a particular library. And it's a Blitz Basic Discord. Should be a link just above you there. Yeah, Grant. Am I the only one who can see it? I'm not sure if that link is still working, but if it's not, I can post a new link. But yeah, basically, Blitz Basic normally frees all the memory that you use during when it exits. When you type end, that command does a load of other stuff internally that frees up the memory that Blitz is using. What happens is, in theory, that should be fine, and it should keep track of everything, but some third-party libraries don't play well with that. And if you can free up they won't. Basically, if you free up the memory yourself, then it doesn't really notify Blitz, and then Blitz ends up freeing it up again. So that's kind of the problem. The options are, don't use an end command and just let the program die instead, but then you lose all the other memory that you've allocated. But no, don't do that. But wow, let me see. Yeah. Did you? And then you end up with all sorts of problems. Okay, so it's probably a bug in one of the libraries. Then, or something is being freed up in the wrong order. Are you freeing up anything else? What is it? Is it intuition code, or is it like game code shutting down the OS code? Because I know if you're doing things with Windows and intuition and stuff like that, there's a particular order you have to unallocate things, or else it just dies on its arse. So you have to be careful. Yeah, so you have to, it can be either screen or display. So if you do it, oh, so when you say screen, as in OS friendly or not OS friendly? Well, we'll have to have a look at that at some other point, because it sounds a little bit messy. Hey, I just see you've joined the Discord there. There you are. And Hawk Chill as well. Welcome in, guys. Okay, so back to yeah, but there's an area in the Discord for asking for, in particular, for coding help, and yeah, we can have a look, and we can be a team. You often get Erock in there as well, and he's very good with the lower level stuff, depending on what's going on. Okay, so what I was doing is I'm trying to minimize my shape. So max H is 190 minus H size minus Y size. Well, what I want to do is I'm going to do h is equal to hx size plus hy size minus h. Wine is the way to go. This is last week's bottle of wine, but it's survived well. It's survived a week. Still tastes fine. It's tasty, tasty wine. Tasty, tasty. That all still looks like it's working. That's good. So, max h is the maximum height. That's in pixels down the thing. So we've got a bitmap that's this size, and the shape is drawn from the bottom up. So as the blocks get smaller, they actually start further down the shape. It made sense to me at the time, and I'm not changing it now. So, but anyway, the height of our shape is h. So what we should be able to do is make, oh, where's our get a shape 50 comma width comma height. So that should be h and minus 1. In theory, this should have absolutely no effect on the game. Oh, well, it's a great theory. But we're missing the bottom, say 20 pixels or something like that. 10 pixels maybe. Yeah, of course. Yeah, don't say anything or you jinx yourself. So I can't see why that doesn't work though. Oh, it is 10 pixels because this tile is 10 pixels high. Of course. It's a shelf thing. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to copy that line and just disable the first version and say 200 minus h. Because the front of the tile is 10 pixels high. Sorry, the vertical edge at the front. I missed what were you doing? Did you fix last week high score list? It is pretty much working. Yeah. Now I'm at the point where I have to. I think actually I can't remember, to be honest. I'm at the point where I have to actually deal with inputting the text. So what I did was I refactored the code last week to use a dynamic list because someone told me to. And so yeah, now it works, and all I need to do is actually take someone's initials and put them in. That looks intact. Oh, you prick. Genius idea. I think it was it you that mentioned it. Anyways, okay, so why is that changed? 200 minus that. Why does that not work now? Height should be okay. Now I genuinely don't understand why this isn't working. H, let's ignore that and go back to what we were doing with 190. Let's do plus 10. The plan now is I'm trying to optimize this because I realized that doing a massive blit is very wasteful, and works fine when you've got one shape on the go, but it doesn't work fine when you've got two shapes on the go, which is what happens when the chunk of the tile is falling down. It's quite wasteful because most of what it blitz is blank space. So I'm just trying to optimize that a bit. So because I just take a big chunk. I should do more constants. Yes. Definitely. Right. So absolutely, and I'm always I give out to other people for that, and then I do it myself. That is, I'm getting better. Look, there's a constant. I've got a constant. I do constants. But I'm trying to just deal with the maths of this. So H X Y. Oh my god, my Y position isn't moving. So I was right in the first place. It's when the shape gets shorter, it's taking the wrong one. Ah. Yes. Did we discuss that before? This is ringing bells. Okay, so I know what was going wrong now. Not for this, no, but yeah. Okay, so this should be 200. Okay, so oh, well, I've gone too far. My I do half. Yeah, I look loads of constants there. Look at that. Beautiful. Constants and magic numbers on the same line. It's a thing of wonder. Okay, so my problem is this Y coordinate. So my tile did get smaller, but I got smaller from the bottom rather than the top. Yes, well, exactly, and this is all kind of been teased out because I calculate what I think the number should be, and I'll put it in, and it doesn't work at all. Hello, Walker. Welcome in, George. I hope you're well. Happy Friday. Cheers and sláinte and all that. Hope you're well. I haven't broken anything yet, although there's loads of time. I'm working on a little game, very simple game. And I don't know if you were here before. If you were, I apologize because I'm still working on it. It should have been finished a long time ago. No streams in the plan. You haven't been streaming recently. I haven't seen you on, to be fair. But working on a little game. I missed the game jam. Yeah, it wasn't really game jam worthy, to be honest. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, you were. I think you were saying that, weren't you? Well, let's give you an L shout out. Yes. I remember now. Yeah. We. Very good. I think I like having the stream. I like doing coding on stream because if I didn't, I have many other things that I need to be doing, and it just wouldn't happen. So it kind of forces me to do it, and that's, in a way, that's good. But I also combine it with my drinking time, so not always good. But yes, I'll try and catch you at some point. Anyway, George, if you haven't been here before, this is a little, just a little game. I'll give it a little test run now in a second. I'm trying to optimize it. I'm trying to think things out. 140. So that should be max H, is it? Max height. Yeah. I didn't submit something for this game jam. Okay, so we've got a complete tile. Don't mind the background of one of the blocks. Yes, it is. Still working on it, but the game itself is pretty much there. It loses at 50 frames a second when you have two blocks on the go. and I have to finish off the high score table. But other than that, it's working nicely. Oh, this is looking good. So I haven't lost anything. Now I wonder. So the high score table works, although it hasn't put me in there. But my blitting. Oh, I want to run it again because I want to see speed-wise how it looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this to cycle exact. The blink bug again. That is to do with the speed of the emulation. I'm sure. I'm still sure because. Well, we did because. We did. But I think how we solved it was putting in an extra V weight. Which means it was something to do with blitter timing, but it doesn't happen on real hardware. This is the thing. And it doesn't happen when you set it to cycle exact. So I'm just going to trust in that. Oh, yes. No, that's right. Yes, we did have an extra V weight in somewhere that was causing problems. Yes. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, it was a different thing that I've. Sorry. Yeah. So now. But that was a different thing, but I removed an extra V weight I had in there for debugging, and now it is back again. So I think what's happened is, basically it's I need to look at that again anyway. But look, we're fine. We are blitting. This is with cycle exact mode. You can see we're still taking up a lot of the screen, but that's the menu. I don't care about the menu. There we go. Well, let's see how this looks. Still too slow. But when they get that small, when the tiles get that small, it's working as intended. So it's only too slow on the biggest tile. Now, how the hell am I going to solve this? By doing the width as well. What I'm going to do is, just to get an idea of what's going on, I'm going to draw in a box to show how sorry, just speeding up the CPU again, the exact cycling mode, but the thing is though that it matches the real hardware. Before suggesting a question, by all means, the max width. Yeah, the maximum width is wide enough. It's 101 pixels, so it always takes 101 pixels, regardless of how big it is. So, I think the height was an easier calculation to do, but the width is a little slightly trickier because I'll have to compensate for the like the handle, if you like. It is literally the handle. But you know, the focal point of the shape, that's a little bit more complicated to do in the horizontal, but I'll do it. Oh, a bit of happy hardcore on a Friday doesn't go well with the red wine. You're not going to like go on. I'm open to suggestions. You're going to tell me to rewrite half the game. So all 8 sprites to move the piece, then blit once. No, I do like the suggestion. And you're right. That would work. But for 2 reasons. One, I'm using the sprites to blit the numbers now, or to draw the score, but to be fair, I can do that with blitting. but the main reason being, the only reason I have this problem is because I want to draw behind the current tile. So basically I can't do that with sprites, not with a dual playfield display. Yeah, no, absolutely, because I'm already blitting one of the digits because because the sprites are in the are 3-color sprites, so I've only got 2 of them that I can use without having to repeat the palette like 4 colors up, and I'm not doing that. So what I have is basically the first 2 digits are sprites and the third is blitted, which means I do actually need an extra little bit of blitter time, although it's not a massive blit, it's only 16 pixels wide. But I could blit all 3 of them in much less time than it takes to draw the tile. But the problem is, I could blit the tile and then blit the moving tile. That would be easy to do, but it would always be in front. And it would be the same with the sprites. It would either always be in front or always be behind. You can't do one or the other without having a dual playfield display. So, you know, the sprites can't move in between 2 different blitted objects without having a dual playfield display. That is going to go through me, so I'm going to change that song. Use scroll to move the pieces stacked. Oh. Oh, you might be onto something. You might be onto something. Yeah. Yes, it is. And not even that. I'm using buffered blitz, right? But I probably don't need to use buffered blitz if it's for the original block. Yes, drunken coding. Go team drunk coding. Okay, I think not only so I'm using buffered blitz to draw the block because I constantly want to erase it and restore the blocks underneath. Which is why, even though I'm only doing 1 blit, it's huge, and because it's huge 3 times over. So nerds. I will wear that badge with honor, George. Sprites are wonderful on the Amiga. They're also a pain. Yeah, the George with your C and your and your OS friendly code. Blitz comes before C in the alphabet, so we're better. That's how it works. Yeah, no, so can I. I'm obviously just messing. Yes, indeed. And to be fair, I started out doing when I got Blitz Basic the first time. I actually started out doing OS friendly code, and I wrote a couple of games in OS friendly. I wrote a version of Battleship and Minesweeper and Tic-Tac-Toe and stuff like that back in the 90s, and they were all OS friendly. Now, my problem was that I kind of made loads of assumptions on, like, you know, topaz and the color layout of workbench and stuff like that. So in modern times, when people have like high color workbenches and different fonts, they don't work because I took loads of shortcuts. Like, instead of taking I'm just assuming the window border widths and things like that. So it's just it's fairly rough, but you know, that was where I started, and then I went on to shutting down the OS. A media manager for a radio station. Ooh, Like as in like a sort of a database kind of thing? Well, yeah, that's how it works, you know. Well, it's not all that long ago. It was probably 10 years ago or so. My wife, who's a musician, was recording things on a sort of, she has a standalone audio recorder, very high quality thing, and a battery thing. She used it to record her performances. And oh, very good. But yeah, so my wife would use this recorder thing, but if the battery ran out, it didn't save the current file properly. So it was recording all the data to the SD card, but what is supposed to happen is when it finishes recording, it writes the header to the file, and if the battery died, it wouldn't write the header, which means that, you know, you're left with this 300 megabyte WAV file that no software would read. It was like all the information was there, but you know, it wouldn't read it. So I wrote a program on the Amiga to kind of generate the proper header for it, and so I fixed it once with that code, and then I fixed it again with the code, and then she kept on coming with it. I was like, this is a pain in the arse getting the audio file onto the Amiga so I can run this code and getting it back off again. So I wrote a Mac version of it for her, and so then she was able to do it herself. But that's cool. That's quite a sophisticated bit of programming. Something like that. Very good. I wrote the software for an MP3 player on the Amiga. I called it AmiTunes because it was done on the same style as the old way that iTunes did it, you know, with the three lists. So you got, you know, artist, album, and song, and so you could click on something in the one column and it would filter the other two columns, and it worked really well. And I wrote it for the MAS player, you know, the hardware MPEG decoder, and it works really well within a thing, with a limited thing. So that version of AmiTunes is released. It's on AmiNet, but it's very, very specific to the hardware. I did do another version of it with MUI and on OS4, and it was but that, yeah, I don't think that's never been finished. That got a bit too complicated, and that that version of it, the OS4 version, or it wasn't even OS4 version, but I wrote it on OS4. That version is not finished, and I never finished it because what happened was, what was the other one? Someone else released an audio player for OS4, and I kind of like, kind of lost interest in it at that point. I'll say I'll have a look at it here, but I don't actually think I have it on the PC, because it's on my OS4 machine. But the working version, yeah, the OS3 one is working. First version of AGOCAD on AmiNet did during my college times. Oh, fancy. That's fancy. Yeah, you know, it's funny looking back on code, because I consider AmiTunes to be my new era code. So not from when I was back in school doing, you know, the font sensitive or the font insensitive stuff. But even looking at that code now, which is probably about 15 years old, I'm like, oh, that's nasty. Yeah, you want to talk about magic numbers? That is full of magic numbers. Because I started building the OS, I was just using magic numbers for the gadgets as a proof of concept, and I just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew, and then I had to have a list printed out of which gadget each number referred to, and that was stupid. I should have just done it as constants. But I learned my lesson. Because especially the MUI version had sort of a couple of hundred MUI objects. It was ridiculous. Anyways, right. Okay, so let's cut the size of this the horizontal size of the shape down. Let's get into the dirty sprite handling. Well, I'm reluctant to go converting this thing for the reason I said, because you can't overlap the blitting and the sprite. It just doesn't work. You either choose one or the other. So, yeah, that's not what I'm going to do. But yeah, I'm happy to give you a hand with sprites, because they're sort of a dark art on the Amiga. They're very limited in some ways, but very powerful in other ways, and they work really, really well for some things. I could drink more wine, and you know, shit ideas become good ideas after wine. You only need on the moving part. Yeah, but how do I get the moving part behind the non-moving part? Oh, wheels are turning now. Maybe I don't need... Maybe I can define that on the fly and have it just go behind everything. No, what I'm going to do is, you did trigger something there. So when we're in falling mode, which is down here somewhere. Oh, go away. Oh, come on. What's going on here? Oh, this is looking... This button will reset it. Well, I would like it if it did. Okay, this is what we wanted. So where are we? Falling, that's what I wanted. So when we're falling, .311.4 works great. someday fall order in front. Yes, so I should. So so this is our falling shape. This one doesn't need to be buffered blit. Else falling behind the new block, and we blit that one first, and then we do this. So I've unbuffered those two blits. Let's just see if that has changed our timing. First off, has it corrupted everything? Which is entirely possible. Bum, bum. I think we've solved the problem. Let's see. I should swap. I think we have. That deserves a sup of wine. Because of what I've done is, because a buffered blit is brutally expensive on blitter time. Because what happens is you're doing actually two blits at the same time. So it's twice as expensive in blitter time. So by doing that, I've taken... So by doing two buffered blits, you've got, let's say, 4 times we're blitting that shape. By taking away that, I've taken away 25%. So it's a 25% saving on blitter time just by doing that. Because that shape doesn't need to be erased. It's already the top tile. It's not going to go anywhere. So I think you put the idea in there by talking about scroll instead of other things. So it's close, but by the way, do you want to save more? No. No, I just want it to work. But no, I'm open to. I know I can. I'm brutally inefficient. But that's holding the 50 frames a second. It is. Nice. In its shape. What you talking about, Willis? By making the shape smaller. Yes, but then I can't blit. Oh. Yes, yes, sorry, I see what you're saying. So you only blit to certain bitmaps or bit planes. Yes. That's worth an experiment, but I'm going to be potentially blitting over other bit planes and they'll need to be erased and restored. So you might end up with a sort of a transparency kind of effect. I think, yeah, no, I want to try that now. Okay, so buffer blit, and excess on off. Yeah, only on the fall. But so this is our falling tile. Oh, that's very slow. So that's our falling tile there. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, because the bit planes are changing and oh, I'm not sure that works. I'm not sure that works. It's a good idea. It is a good idea, but that needs significant rework of the palette and stuff like that because the bit planes aren't beside each other. So if I'm blitting a shape that's 2 bit planes deep, it's going to need to be. They're going to need to be adjacent bit planes instead of always the same color moving. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's oh, yeah. Yeah, I like the idea, but I don't think I need it, to be honest. I'm going to optimize the width. I'm going to optimize the width of the shape. Just because I'm blitting a whole chunk of blank there. It's 100 pixels wide, and most of the time the shape is not. But no, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm saying it's a good idea, but I'm lazy, and as it stands, it's good enough. Which is terrible. It's not the way it should be. But when you take over the machine, it's all good. You know, it's kind of all those cycles belong to me. Javier, welcome in. Can I find it somewhere? You should see me. Oh yes, sorry. And by all means, post any links you want in the chat there. We're a small family here. You're all allowed to post links. Yeah. All good. So the right X is that, and right Y is that. If it's not necessary work, it's already optimized but not being complex. Well, yes, true. I want to make I feel bad that yeah. Yeah, that's fair. No, I do want to. I feel it kind of bugs me that I'm blitting so much blank space, and I want to make sure I want to optimize it. So as it runs now, I think we're almost at the full frame, but we're within one frame because with the green stripe, which is game logic, is down at the bottom of the frame. So I want to I want to have a little bit more headroom. So right X and left X So width is equal to 4x minus lx. Simple as that, isn't it? That's the width. There you go. Hey. 07 Commander. Oh, 07. I know I keep saying it, but if anyone's played Elite Dangerous, you know exactly what that is. You know, I know it's used in other places as well. But what I love in Elite Dangerous is you got air traffic controllers. Okay. Sorry, who's stirring up? My wife went for a walk and took my notes. I'll have to check that out. That sounds funny. But yeah, in Elite Dangerous, you've got air traffic controllers around the space stations. And it got to the point, you know, because 07 was such a common thing between players, that when you sign off from the air traffic controllers when you're leaving a station, they sometimes say 07 Commander. I think that's cool. It's just, it's very, very meta. So that's the width of our shape. Oh, sorry. And we need to calculate the front X. Right X, upper, lower. Yeah. Are you taking a break from it, or are you George, or are you waiting for another project to show up, or what's the story? Okay, so 100 and 190. 100. Ooh, George, sorry. Walkero. Sorry, I'm doxing the poor guy. I thought it was fairly common knowledge that was his name, but maybe not. See, Walkero I know quite well from different Amiga events, but mainly Amiga Ireland. Where he has been very helpful, sort of part of the crew that helped out doing Amiga Ireland, which sadly doesn't happen anymore, but is an awesome event. Yeah, which is a shame, but you know, we've replaced. Well, it has been replaced a little bit by Kickstart. We do. Someone else asked me about that. There was someone talking to me from Northern Ireland and said, "Oh, I hope to get to Amiga Ireland one day." I was like, "Oh yeah, about that. It's not really happening anymore." But basically, Amiga Ireland was like a 2-day event in a hotel in the middle of Ireland where everyone got drunk and played with Amigas, and it was fantastic. It was so good. Oh, you were at Amiga Belfast? That was like last week or the week before. Oh, very good, very good. Because I'm glad you went up, because I want to make it. The next Amiga Belfast is around about November time, so need to get some news from Nivrig on that, some official news. But Amiga Belfast is kind of like a smaller thing, but hey, oh, it's fantastic. It really is, Amiga Ireland, because it was mostly or almost all about the community. There were usually like maybe one or two resellers there, but or retailers there, or you know, commercial stands. But most of it was just people bringing along their Amigas and playing games. Oh, it did. It just took it. There was a bit of a delay there, to be fair. Yeah. Let's see. There's a delay from me. There's a big delay there. Well, that's a hell of a delay. So yeah, we should. The problem is, I'm not in a position to do much helping with an 11-month-old, and being in a different country. It's a little bit tricky, but I mean, yeah, we really should. I think I still have this set up, do I? Yeah. Does that website even still exist? Oh, it does not. Oh, the domain's lapsed. So it's parked by a giant casino website. Don't bother. That's a shame. Ah, dear. Yeah, I know, but you could have kept the domain just to redirect. Yeah, it's a shame. I'll update the link anyway. Kuji.ie. Let's see, does that work? Oh, it does. There's no cert for it, but well, yeah. There you go. Okay, it has been reasonably updated because updated in the last year or so. Oh, Belfast Amiga Belfast is in there. Oh, that's nice. Good stuff. Anyways, yeah. Right. Okay, so 100 pixels across and 190 is always the bottom tip. So what we need is the distance between. We need the offset distance. No. Offset distance. Offset x is equal to, so 100 minus left x, lx. No. We already have lx. We already have it. We've already done that. Magic Mike numbers. Yeah. Yes. We don't need that. We've got left x. So now all we have to do is x, shape x shouldn't be 50, it should be lx. Okay, I'm going to leave it as 50, and we're going to do my usual trick of keeping the old line disabled and lx. Don't worry, I'm not going to be taking off my top. Oh, a Leffe. Oh, a nice Belgian blonde beer. Oh, it's a while since I've had a Leffe. Ah, welcome in, Alexandra. Alexandre. Just a bunch of old baldy beard guys. Yeah. Let's all just take off our tops. Yeah, no, it's not happening. Cool. Enjoy and cheers. I'm sure you prefer the Super Bock. Well, let me see. If I'm on the continent, I do like a German beer. But there are some pretty good craft beers in Scotland, I have to say. Hey, Predzada, welcome in. How are you? Yeah, I'm the Solus guy. I have, you know what? I'm actually out of my first major batch. I'm almost there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Soluses left. This is my my Solus collection. But you know what, Pred Zeta, you'll be very proud. Oh my god, that's shit music. Sorry, I have to skip that. Where's my player gone? Yeah. Oh, much better. I've sold about 150 Solus boards. That's a bit nicer. That's a bit nicer. Well, here's the thing, Pred Zeta. I have Alenia Computer in Germany are doing a trial run of producing Solus, and with the intention of selling it through their store. So that will make it a lot easier for anyone in the EU to get it, because you won't have the import tax and things like that. So it's not an official word or anything like that. So am I rich? You know what? I've sold 150 Solus boards. I've made don't know. So I'd say if I paid myself the manufacturing time, I'd say I paid myself about £2 an hour. Hardwired. Solus is a hardware board. I'll get one here. It's a little project I made, and this is the circuit board, and it fits. I just know the biggest, thickest. So yeah, this fits inside your Amiga, and it gives you RGB lighting and fan and temperature control, and it has all software on the Amiga side for controlling it all. Pred Zeta is probably my biggest customer. I think he must have about 4 of them by now. So yeah, so over lockdown, I kind of this kind of kept me sane. But that's the one. So I've been oh well, there you go. Like I said, Alenia Computer might have them sometime soon. Now you need a clock port. So I think Walker, I think you have 2 of them, do you? Alenia will be selling them soon, and I think that will probably be the best bet to go for. Well, I hope there will be. There's no guarantee, of course, but they're manufacturing a trial run at the moment. So yeah, but George Walker was instrumental in, see this little bit here, this little notch that's out of the side of the board. That is specifically to fit a particular version of the what's it called, the Indivision, because I'd made it and then George got it and found that he needed an extra 2mm, and that was it. So so I think George has a rare version of it that doesn't have that 2mm on it. So does Pred Zeta, to be fair. He has one of the early versions as well. I think Pred Zeta, George and Pred Zeta were 2 of the early adopters, let's say. But Alexandra, that's what it is. It's a circuit board that fits inside the Amiga, and it gives it fan control, temperature control. You can connect an LCD to it for a little display of temperatures and things like that. You can it can run 2 different LED strips, you know, RGB lighting strips. It gives you, oh, and the thing is that the LEDs can react to the audio of the Amiga output, which is quite cool. Yeah, there we go. Let's say a limited edition. I would call them the prototype versions. So they do have some other limitations, but the single biggest difference, or the obvious difference, is the little notch out of the side, and that's we'll call that the Walker notch. The Zara host board. There is. Okay, so now which one are you talking about? So sorry, to go back onto Hardwired's question there. the Solus needs a clock port. Now, it doesn't have to be an Amiga 1200 clock port, but it needs to be a clock port. So if you've got a Zorro card in there in your 4000 with a clock port on it, that's the way to go. If you don't, see, I made this Zorro board that gives you clock ports years ago, years and years ago, and this is my prototype, and it does not work in the 4000 or the 3000 because it only works on Zorro 2 because I took shortcuts with it, and I did a kind of a I made it for the 2000 basically because I have a 2000. I don't have a 3000 or 4000. I have a 2000, and it works in that. And it gives you 4 clock ports and a replacement real-time clock. Oh, there it is. Because for people where the clock battery has leaked and it's destroyed the clock portion of the board, so that works. But yeah, it doesn't work on Zorro 3. So yeah. Anyways, so basically, but a lot of other Zorro cards do have clock ports. Like there are IDE cards, there are like the Buddha has one. There are network cards that have them. There are a lot of them, and at some point I will. It's on my list of things to do, is to learn to make a proper Zorro card, because this isn't a proper Zorro card. This is a fake Zorro card. But a proper Zorro card that actually responds to the dynamic address the computer gives it. That's what I want to do, and when I do that, I'll be able to do a board like that. I just haven't done it so far. But all it takes is a CPLD. Oh. Do you mean this one? This one will fit a Solus board on it. Like that. That's an ISA card. It's not a Zorro card. So what the idea is that, you know, if you've got a Buddha card or something like that fits it in the Zorro section, you can put this into the ISA section that's kind of empty beside it. So you can have both cards in line with each other, and then you just connect the two with a little clock port cable. But it still needs somewhere else to connect the clock port. This just provides power. It doesn't provide any signals. So that's it. But yeah, what other boards do you have in the 4000? Because maybe you do have one that has Zorro on it. Anyways, yeah, I should go back to this. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Undelete and undelete. A fast lane. Does that not have a clock port on it? Fast lane. What was that? Oh, yeah, no. It doesn't. That's quite a cool board, to be fair. But yeah, that's before the whole clock port craze. It's going around. Yeah, it's a. Yes, I do remember them. That's an impressive card. Yeah, anything in the sort of like the retro era. Almost any Zorro board has a clock port on it these days. But yeah. Anyway, without that, what happens is the Solus board will still work, but the software can't communicate with it, obviously. Like, as in the board is autonomous. Once you set the settings in it, it will do that without the software. You only need the settings to the software to change the settings. But anyways, that's it. Because as well as doing coding, I do hardware design and firmware design. But yeah, there you go. In a past life, when I was living in Ireland, I used to do some firmware coding for my job. It was good times. Hardware design. Yeah. I did some hardware design. Were you not here for those streams? Hardwired design. I was doing some. Yeah. I have some. Would you call a breadboard hardwired or soft wired? You can believe how. Souls with 2 LEDs. Inbox. Oh, nice. For the music. Why? Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm going to just switch over to this. Let's see. Where is this? Whoops. No, not that. Oh yeah, that one will do. Oh no, that's a capture. I can't find where the thing. I thought I have it. Anyway, you'll have to do with the flickering. Don't mind that flickering. There's my bottle of wine. There's my workshop. This is my last hardware, or my most recent hardware development. It's an adapter for SNES controllers to work on the Amiga. But I also got this. Whoa. Well, there it is. I haven't built any yet, but I got the circuit boards for it. So at some point I'm going to do that, and that'll look a lot nicer than this big circuit board here. But yeah, so that's my the prototypes have arrived. I just need to build it. And whoever suggested it says on the back, does what Nintendo don't. Anyways, yes, I'll put that on my queue to build. Okay, so stream. Let's go back to that one. Oh, that's kind of annoying when I switch scenes like that. It wipes the chat. Because yeah, that's the one. So I need to build that and then test it, because I haven't actually tested the hardware. Anyways, that's for another day, unless you want to see me soldering and drunk. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so LS, that surely should be LX. So left X, and the width should be. Did I calculate the width? I'm sure I did. Width W. W.W. Yeah. Smells of burning flesh. Width, height. Handle has to be. What were we saying the handle was? So the offset would be 100 minus. No, it can't be mid-handle because the shapes aren't symmetrical. Oh, sorry, that's something funny happening there. So the shape could be like a long skinny one, and then the handle will be most of the way over to the one side. So mid-handle isn't going to cut it. The handle has to be like at the 100 point, because if you look at the original thing, it's 50. Sorry, the shape would be 100 wide, so that the original handle is X is 50. Oh my god, I should make a USB one, and then you'd be sorted. You know, Predzada, I was actually working on a clock port for the Atari 800. Where is it? Doesn't look like much there, but that's the PBI bus, it's called, on the Atari 800, and that gives us basically a clock port on the Atari 800. Well, you know, don't knock the Atari 800, because I like it, and I, you know, it was my first computer. But the chipset in the Atari 800 was designed by Jay Miner. So it's funny how these things happen. It's like the Atari 8-bits really are the ancestor of the Amiga, and the Atari ST is the ancestor of the C64 in a way. Or sorry, the other way around. The Atari ST is the descendant of C64. So it is kind of this crossover. But yeah, it's not quite as simple as that. But the Atari, there's a very strong link between the Atari 8-bits and the Amiga. No, what I'm thinking of is basically is that it became a thing from Commodore basically because of Jack Trammell trying to be a cheap computer for everyone. Not there's no chipset link or anything. No, that's a fair point. But the Atari 8-bits, the chipset is a direct ancestor of the Amiga. Yeah. So if you code for the Ataris, you can really see it because the sprites work the same way. The display lists are the same thing as the copper list. Just obviously a primitive version of it. It's mad how similar they are. And when you play games on the Atari, you see the same kind of copper effects in loads of places. It's there's such a tight link there. Yeah, no, it's that's fair. That's in my mind they kind of swapped over, but yeah, no, it's not actually. There's no lineage there. But yeah, so yeah, true. Well, maybe. Although, yeah, it's hard to know because ultimately, you know, we were left with Windows and Mac, and everything else just bit the dust. That was it, and even Mac was on its way out. So, like so many things, I think the markets mature into just two major technologies. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to take the shape, and instead of being 50, we have to be 50 minus LX. Is that right? Yeah, he had his moments, but yeah, it was yeah, it wasn't yeah, he had his moments. Oh, bad things are happening. Oh no, we're okay. Does it still work? Let's see. Oh no. It works. What do I code? What do you mean? Like Blitz Basic? Or what? No. Sorry, this is a game. Sorry if you haven't been in these streams before. Sorry, this was a very simple game. Explain the game. So, I'm gonna pause the music. Where's the music? Where's the music gone? Where's the music? Pause. This is a game that I saw on the frame. Now this is in debug mode, so it did have like a copper rainbow effect in the background, or like it was supposed to be a sky. Where's my sound? Something like that. So it's this game basically, and the block is moving, and so you all you do is you press fire to stop the block, and any overhang that doesn't fit on the original block, on the block below it, you lose. Yeah, sort of. It's more of a reaction kind of game. So what happens is that as the blocks stack up, the speed gets faster. So if I do that now, that's a bit glitchy. There's something wrong there where the block shouldn't be disappearing. So you see what's happened there? There was a bit of overlap there, and now that's got a lot faster actually. I think what's happened here, something bad has happened to the timing here. But the music scrolls with the screen. You need a sandpaper. The speed gets much quicker there for some reason. I don't understand why that is. Yeah, I think there's something. Yeah, it must be skipping frames. But look, it's got to this height, and it's not going as fast. That's weird. This is the proper speed. I don't know what happened there. It shouldn't be skipping frames. It should be running at a solid 50 frames a second, and it is. Yeah. Oh, as in a Space Invaders kind of way that it's speeding up. It shouldn't be, because it shouldn't be, but maybe I've introduced something there. But it's like it's synchronized to 50 hertz. Like it's synchronized to the V weight, so it shouldn't be. Yeah, that's got much faster there. I don't understand what's happened there. If I put it in cycle exact. Why is that though? Because it should still be 50 frames a second. Those bars are just letting me look at the timing. So I'll show you with my WinUAE pointer here. Basically, from here, the grey is the neutral. Where red starts, that's where it's blitting. Now the palette gets reset here, so don't mind that, but red basically lasts until down here, and that's how much of the screen time is spent blitting this shape here. You can see it's much smaller than it was. It used to be way down here. So this is a win for us. Dirty Papadon, welcome in, how are you? Yes, 0 crashes, although lots of weird behavior. So these bars here, this green bar is the rest of the game logic. This is just taking care of the movement calculations and the checking the controls and stuff like that. So I've massively improved on the blitting time, to be honest, but I don't know why it's speeding up. How high can you go? Indeed. So basically that's it. So it starts scrolling once you get to this point here, and then but the music also scrolls with the height, and it's jank, as Nivri says. I love how jank it is. Taxi driver drunk bell ringers this evening. All right. You know a bunch of bell ringers, or what's the story? Oh, badness here. Badness. What's this? Something bad is happening here. All sorts of bad things happening. Oh. No. Anyways, that's the game. But this is a new glitch. I've never seen this bug before. What is going on? Anyways, press fire. 22. So you see I got my score at the top of the scoreboard there. Ah, oh, very good, very good. Cool. No. I'm doing it old school. I have one source file and one source file only. Oh. Yeah, flashy. Yeah, no, I should. I know. Tisk. Yeah, old school. Like I wrote a game there. You know the game Atoms, you know, where you fill up the grid with squares in the grid with different colors, and as when a block gets full, it explodes into the other squares around it. That I wrote a version of that game. Well, I wrote a version for the Amiga a while back, but I wrote a version for I didn't write the original version. I wrote a kind of a workbench friendly graphics card Amiga version, you know, like with 3D rendered balls. But yeah, I wrote that version and did the logic, but then I wrote a version for the Atari, and just because I'm a glutton for punishment and because that's the way I want to do it, I coded it on the Atari. Oh yeah, that's my version. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, look at those 3D graphics. Yeah, it does. The obviously it works on ECS and AGA, but the graphics are greatly reduced. 2014. Oh my god. I think that was my new era of Amiga programming. It's 12 years ago. Amazing. Thank you for that. So, now, just having a thought. I wonder if that that graphics overlapping. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I left it up too high. Thank you. I wonder if that graphics glitch is because of the same reason, is because I'm resetting the copper halfway down or something like that. The same reason I'm getting the glitch in the bottom lines of the menu text. I wonder. Yeah. There is a Zap event this weekend, and my Amiga excursions are limited, let's say. For yeah. he does a good DJ. He does some good DJing. I have to yeah, basically I have to plan my Amiga excursions quite carefully because I have a nearly 1-year-old. Mostly, you know, I can't be going off every weekend leaving my wife with the 2 kids, and you know, an 8-year-old and a 1-year-old is not a great combination to be looking after. So I am not at Zap. I know a few people are. A 1-year-old, yeah, I've got an 11-month-old. She's going to be 1 next month. How old am I? I don't know anymore. I'm 44. Yeah, I know. Stupid idea. Yeah, so I think I'll be going to Kickstart. Why? What age do you think I was? I'm curious. Yeah, I think I'll be a Kickstart as well. I still haven't booked a ticket yet. 50. Oh, thank you. I feel older. I'm just constantly tired. But yeah. Thank you, George. Yes. In my head, I'm 25. Mix is going to be at Zap. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people at Zap. I feel that a lot of people traveling this weekend. I think Nivrig's gone to Zap, is he? Did I see that somewhere earlier? Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, exactly. In my head, that's what's going on. I think every year I kind of have thought, oh, I'd like to go to Zap, and it just hasn't happened. But at some point, a few years' time, we'll see if all these events are still happening. Yeah, you do that. You've earned it. Friar85, welcome in. Welcome in. Good of you to join us. Cheers. Sláinte. Slange, as they say in Scotland. Which is wrong. It's crazy wrong. Oh, you told me how to say this last time. Saute. Is that alright? Go on. Sorry. Yes, saute. Okay, right, okay, it's close enough. Cool. Slange, yeah. But yeah, because it's funny because when I moved to Scotland, and even still occasionally it happens that I go to people and I'd say like sláinte, you know, out drinking with Scottish people, and you know, it kind of occasionally someone will correct me like, you know, it's slange. Like, yeah, I know that's not what I said though. In Ireland it's sláinte, and I'm Irish, so I'm going to go with that. But yeah, it's funny because the two languages are almost the same. They're so close, but they're pronounced very differently. And so you look at it on the page and it looks like the same word, but it sounds totally different. Yeah, even that, Gaelic and Gaelic. Like, yeah, because in Ireland we would say Gaelic, and in Scotland they say Gaelic, but it's the same word. Oh, showing off a bit of the Welsh there. I'm going to Edinburgh in a few days. I'm worried. Yeah. What's going on in Edinburgh? Now, here's the thing. Edinburgh, if you spend much time in Glasgow, Edinburgh is basically considered a little outpost of England in Scotland. So you'll probably be all right. Sláinte. Yeah. Not a word you've come across in Norfolk. No, you're about as far away from it as you can get there. But yeah, you'll be alright in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is a more gentle accent than Glasgow. Edinburgh. Yes, exactly. But yeah, it's funny. There's so many people in my job who are from Edinburgh, and you kind of like you have to, when you hear an accent, you kind of say, "Ooh, I'm not going to ask them," because they're either from England or they're from Edinburgh. Cheers. Yeah. Cheers. Are we saying that without the or on it? Are we saying cheers? That sounds, to me that sounds a bit Liverpool. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is, just in case something bad is happening here, I'm going to do that. Glasgow. Do let me know when you're in Glasgow. Do let me know. Because we can go out and have a drink and have a quite a long air. Cheers. 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 Yeah. Oh, there we go. Gaiamas. Gaiamas? Gaiamas? I'm butchering all this. Sorry. Yeah, it's this is all like, you know, there's 100 different ways of saying something across the two little islands. It's mad. But what is interesting, Predzada, is that in Ireland we have an older version of English. Yamas. Yamas. Yeah, yamas. Yamas. Yeah. But yeah, in Ireland we have an older version of English called Hiberno English, and it's kind of Irish English, the English that is spoken in Ireland, and it is different to British English, to the Queen's English or the King's English. Estas reuniões linguas das Ilhas Británicas. Agus an cadgum dulamachadi and letters mosa de hole. Oh, what? I was like, oh, I'm absolutely. My Portuguese is, absolutely non-existent. So I'll take that. More happy hardcore. Yeah, the oldest pub in the world. There's a few pubs that claim that title, but it is one of the oldest in the world. Definitely, it's mad. It's like I can't remember, but it is stupid old, and it's in Athlone where we had Amiga Ireland. But anyways, yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, because we kept some bits. We had basically like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. We were forced to speak English, and we ended up keeping that with some aspects of Irish in the accent and stuff, and that's why we sound quite different. But we also ended up keeping certain bits of the English that the English themselves don't keep anymore. Like we would still say in Ireland quite often ye as a plural of you, and that's gone in England. That's like, oh, that's considered medieval. But yeah, an old colony, that's exactly it. But a colony that fought for our independence and got it, mostly. Mostly. Yeah. Glass cow. Wow. But yeah, we have ye in Ireland. Ye is still used, and gotten, and there are a few other things. But there are a few things like in Ireland in Irish you don't have a straight like equivalent of yes and no. We say it is or it isn't, and that's how it translates. So that's just stayed on even in English as a kind of an artifact of historical language, which is quite cool. So it's like, will we go to the pub? We will. Or it's that kind of, we won't say yeah. We do say yeah, obviously, but there's a lot more of I will or I did. Did you enjoy that? I did, instead of yeah. And that's a very Irish thing. It's remember from we spoke Latin or Old Scots and then forced to speak English from don't talk to me about Cromwell. I know he's a bit of a hero in some parts, but my God, he did a number on Ireland at some point. But and I'm torn because I'm a big steam train nerd, and there's a steam locomotive called Sir Oliver Cromwell, and it's a Britannia class, and it is a beautiful, exquisite bit of engineering. It is stunning, and I love it. I'm like, why did you have to put that fucking name on it? Just a lesson in random shit. the last game I coded. Yeah, I never finished that. I still want to finish it. He was a prick. He was absolutely a prick, and let's call it that. But the steam engine with his name on it is so gorgeous, and you should Google it, because I'm torn. My nerdy side is like, look at this beautiful machine, and it's tainted, forever tainted. But anyways, yeah, there you go. To hell or to Connacht, as he said at the time. Yes, was a pompous fucker that defined the modern British mentality. Yes, absolutely. But in the UK, or in England anyway, he tends to be revered by by a certain type of person, let's say. Anyways, this is getting heavy. The trainee McEngine face. Yes. You know what? And I'm serious about this. It's such a beautiful machine that I would want it to have a really good name, a beautiful name, and I'm all for naming an engine trainee McEngine face, but not that one because I love it so much. Wankers. Yes. Yeah, no, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Let's have a look. Let's just do this. Ba-ba-bum. Let's the game. Yeah. Yeah, it's not happening, is it? I'm just gonna, just because. Where's my desktop? Where is it? Where is it? Where is? Oh my god! Did I not do this? Stream. Oh, I didn't. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Why not? Why not? Where's my? Oh my god. Oh my god. I should name these things better. Okay, let's okay, right. Let's do some on the fly some OBSing. That's not what I wanted. Am I? Oh, sorry. That is what I wanted. Yes, let's do that. And let's add the desktop. Oh, we already have it there. No, that's the one that wasn't working, of course. Of course. Oh, yes. The TL... excuse me, the keyboard membranes are not in great shape at this point. There we go. All of that. There we go. There's the Oliver Cromwell locomotive. All of that. Now that she's in dirty shape there, but that's all I wanted to show you. Now back to the normal programming. Let's go back. No. That one. Exactly. I think it screams Oliver Cromwell very well. It's very pompous. Anyways, yes, it's a hell of a machine. Right. Okay. So let's. I've reinstated the original things. So let's see if we can get our graphical glitches that we were getting there before. We are. What's happened there? At Retrofest at the GWR Steam. Oh yes, what's it called? Bristol. Is it Bristol? I was definitely there. There's they have some pretty awesome. Swindon, that's the one. Swindon Works, of course. It was, yeah, the old works at Swindon. Now, Great Western Railway had some beautiful locomotives. They had their own style of it, and it's a beautiful thing. There's one called Caerphilly Castle, and king, the king ones. Now again, of course, you know, we wouldn't pay much attention to the names of them, but the king class locomotives were so elegant and so lovely. So if you see any that have like the King George, King Edward, King Stephen, whatever, I don't know, they're probably not a King Stephen, but I think they have a couple of them there. They're beautiful. They're elegant. And the Harry Potter train is an old Great Western Railway train with the little the little brass dome on the top. It is the Hall class locomotive. A train called the North Star. That's an interesting one. Show my nerdiness here. The North Star was a prototype, and it was the only one of its type that was ever made. Most of the other railway companies, and we see back in the day, all the railway companies made their own locomotives. That was just how it worked. So they so we get so each kind of region had their own railway company, and so you get like distinct kind of designs. But the Great Western Railway was different to everything else, but they had a really good designer, Daniel Gooch, I think, who designed a couple of engines, and they had this look about them, and that's the look that all the engines have. But the North Star was made as a kind of a rival to the LNER ones, which were like the big muscular ones that were going from London to Glasgow and London to Edinburgh. The LMS and LNER ones, and they were kind of in a kind of a race to who can do the quicker train to Scotland, basically. Two different lines. And North Star was a kind of in response to that, but the Great Western Railway didn't need that kind of thing. They needed smaller, powerful, more agile engines for the smaller kind of lines and stuff, because they weren't doing 400 miles. They were doing much less than that, and they could do it more efficiently with slightly smaller engines. So they never actually built any. They only built the North Star, and then they kind of scrapped the idea because it wasn't working for their smaller needs. Portmadog to Bedgellert. Oh, on the old mining line. Yes, they're so cute. Ah. We have some diesel locomotive meetings. Yes, we have them as well. You get quite the fan for quite the following for the diesels as well. It is, and it's an unusual gauge. I think is it 300 millimeters or is it 400 millimeters? Something anyway, but it's a bit of a mad one. Because but Wales is full of mining railways, and I stayed in Portmadog there a couple of years ago, mainly because of the railways that they have there. Because there's that, and the Festiniog Railway and the Tallaghlan Railway. And the Tallaghlan Railway, for anyone who's familiar, is kind of the inspiration for many of the stories in Thomas the Tank Engine. Including the Scarlowy Railway is based on the Tallaghlan Railway. And there you go. So it's the build of the North Star House. I just had to look it up. North Star. Oh no. No. It's a different one I was thinking of. North Star is a famous locomotive, all right. It's a broad gauge engine. So we're talking Isambard Kingdom Brunel. We're talking that era. Oh, and that is a beautiful engine. That's in the National Railway Museum, I think. But North Star is very, very old. Very, very old. You're talking 1840s or something like that. And that ran on 7-foot track, 7-foot rails. And that was a missed opportunity almost, because we could have been running on 7-foot railways today, and we could have had a lot of speed, basically, and stability. Sorry, we're getting extra boring. But yes, yeah, no, that area is lovely. But I have done lots of train games. I did A-Train. Back in the day, I used to love A-Train, and then I decided to do that on stream, and it turns out I was really shit at it. No, as in I forgot how to play it, and it's utterly unforgiving. It's a great game, utterly unforgiving, and I was bankrupt in 2 streams. I think it was bad news. So, but I must go back to that. I also tried a train simulator on the Amiga. Now, I do play train simulators on the PC, but I tried. Someone made a train simulator on the Amiga, and it was it didn't work out. A lot of the controls didn't respond, and I don't know if it was me or the bad documentation or what it was, but it was yeah. They're on my YouTube if you ever want to go and look at absolutely desperate train game playing. Let's do this. Bum bum bum. There's me YouTube. Amideshna to go. What is that? What you'll have to explain that to me. Amidensha to go. Life School made a train game. Oh, I saw that. That's only recently. It's like a strategy kind of not strategy, like a management kind of game. I'll have to have a look at that. Oh, now it's annoying me. Densha to go is a series of Japanese. Ah. Oh, FMV. Densha to go. Oh, it's a simulator. It's a simulator. Okay, yeah. Oh dear. Are they doing lots of work on it, or is it just or what's the story? Is it like staff issues or something like that? That's Pen on Express. Okay. Let's have a look at that. Densha to go. Okay. Oh no, I have seen this one. That looks cool. Well, that's gonna do it, isn't it? I'll have to check out Transpen Express on a future stream. I will have that. Yeah, I've seen there are people who have built full train cabs for Densha and also for Train Simulator. It works all the way the length of it. Jesus, that's rough. That's hefty. I'm going to have to check out that FMV one, the Transpen Express, because that actually looks cool. That's rough. I'm going to have to give that a go. Subgenre train. Oh, train games. Train Driver. That is the train simulator. Train Driver 3. That's the one I tried. It is brutal. Bahnhof looks interesting. Bahnhof is station in German for anyone. Now, I poured a lot of time into Railroad Tycoon back in the day as well. But anyways, right. Let's okay, so that's for something. That's for another day. Let's see what was going on here. I can't remember what we were doing. That hasn't fixed the problem. So the glitches, which I'll show you now. Bump, bump, bump. The tile disappears. Falling. Let's start coding. Let's start coding. Yes. Now. Now the blit. And then the blit. Why is that? Am I sorry? I just changing my speed here. Why is that not working now? What's happened? Because that's a really weird glitch. That only happened relatively recently. What have I changed here? That was working fine. What's happened? What's happened? It is since then, but after I removed the B-blit, it was still working fine. Oh, no, I know what it is. I know what it is, thank you. I changed that from a buffered blit to a blit, and what's happening is I'm turning off the bit planes with that extra variable. The shapes are, the shapes are dynamically generated, but I only redraw the shapes between each turn, if that makes sense. So when a shape falls down, when you place a tile, then it generates shapes, and then that's the same shape that's used for the next layer. So there we've got two shapes, and that shape there, and when I press fire, it will generate a new shape that's it'll generate two new shapes, one for each portion of the tile that's left, and then it will do what it needs to do, and then the remaining piece of tile becomes the new shape for the next step. Oh, that wasn't it. What's happened? What has happened? Well, let's go back to the old way of doing it. That's working fine. See, this is what it's supposed to look like. Oh. What was the problem of sorting the high scores? I redid the high scores in a dynamic list. So what happens is they're automatically sorted. So I jump through the list until I find where my new score is supposed to go, and then I insert it, and that's it. It doesn't need to be sorted. But the sorting algorithm of the sort commands didn't seem to work properly for me for whatever reason. Well, here's the thing. The falling portions can be rendered whatever way you want, because I left it open and I actually changed it. Yeah, so it's a linked list. It's a dynamic array, rather a dynamic linked list. A linked list rather than an array. So Predzada, we actually that was early on that we decided to do that. So what we'll do is, if we go up here, draw block. Now what are how do the mode polygon vector and point. So polygon is the first bit, vector is the second bit. Okay, so what we need to do is we just need to go to falling. We have to ask, can you just for an optional parameter inverse order? Yes, can do. Yeah, absolutely. So if we go up here to where we go to draw block, so you see this is 0, 1, 0. That just draws the outline. So we can go to 0, 1, 1 and it'll do a polygon block instead. So I'll show you what that looks like. Do you prefer that? Does that look better? Maybe it does. Whoa. Okay, that didn't add to the high scores. you do hear a mechanical keyboard, and I'll be honest with you, Predzada, it's shit. It feels nice. Yeah, it could be. The drop color can be whatever color we want. To be honest, block color, I have it originally the same color. So what we can do is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that as that. Do my old trick of disabling the original line, and 011 and block color. Let's reset game 0. Okay, so falling. Just before that, draw block color 0. Let's see. I want to see what it looks like actually. Yeah, it works. Yeah, I don't know why we're not getting more names inserted. But yeah, it's a Logitech, the keyboard is a Logitech G12 keyboard. And it was given to me as a gift. And it is terrible quality. Because what they've done is, well, first off, the keycaps are very brittle. Yeah, it's like they could be behind the entire tower. And that's a different feat of programming, to be honest. But is that doable? Oh no, the palette is a mess. The palette's a mess, but it could be done if we stick to grey or something like that. Yeah, we could do that. And we could go behind all the playfields, or all the Blitz graphics. Now, the problem with this keyboard, you can get cheaper keyboards that are so much better. This thing cost, like, it was a gift from my brother, and I think it cost like upwards of 100 quid. It was 120 quid or so. And it is a nice design. It's got, I'll show you what it looks like. Wow, there we go. That's what it looks like. It's got this kind of, it's an aluminium frame all around, and the keys stick out from it. So the keys kind of sit high on it. Feels lovely to type on. But what they did was, for this one, they decided we don't want cherry keycaps or cherry switches because they're too expensive. So we're going to make our own. And so they made their own equivalent. So you could spec this keyboard with brown or blue or red switches. And it wasn't cherry keycaps, cherry switches. It was Logitech switches. And they're shit. And I keep on getting double. There are certain keys that will keep on typing double keys, like U and 4 and 8 on the numpad and N, and it's really annoying. Now, when you search online, you find that loads of people have the same problem, but Logitech aren't replacing them because it's out of warranty, or it's we can sell you a new keyboard. So basically they're being dicks about it. And so what happens is the fix is to pour isopropanol into the switch, and that'll fix it for a while, temporarily. But of course, the keycaps, they've used this really brittle plastic for the stems. And so you take them off a couple of times, and then you get this issue where the keycaps come off too easily because they've started to crack on the inside. And it's going to be very difficult for you to see properly, probably. But the keycaps are just shit. So this one has a crack down each side of the stem. So what happens is, if I'm particularly vigorous, let's say, it doesn't even have to be crazy. I'll show you, like a little demonstration. Look at the arrow keys there, right? If I go here, don't mind the close peg. So if I'm pressing the button here, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? It's fucking mental. It drives me nuts. So, I have since then been absolutely sworn off Logitech products because they used to be really good. I have some really good Logitech stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you guys the money because I don't know if I buy something now and I spend 100 quid on like a fucking keyboard or a mouse. I want that to last 20 years. I'm like, that started doing that after 6 months. Like, definitely not good. And the thing is, yeah, and this is the thing. Like, I even on the Logitech, when I was talking to customer services with them, they're saying, well, you know, we don't sell the keycaps individually. I'm like, I just want to buy new keycaps because I'll replace the switches myself with authentic Cherry ones, but I just want keycaps. And they're like, yeah, no, we don't sell them. What you should do is find a third-party seller of keycaps. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Because then I have to buy a whole set. I can't buy like just the broken one. Yeah, definitely avoid Logitech for mechanical keyboards. But like that's the thing. I'd be reluctant to buy a steering wheel or anything else from them because if I'm going to spend that kind of money, how do I know that they haven't cheaped out on that shit as well? And get refunded, yeah. It's brutal, isn't it? But see, what happened was that I got this as a gift, and I was yeah, it must be because I got this as a gift about, I'd say, 5 years ago, and it was a brand new keyboard at the time. It's yeah, and it was discontinued after like 2 years or something like that. So, you know, that's it probably tells you all you need to know about it. But yeah, it's just brutal. But because I had it as a gift, I kind of had it in a box, and I was like, oh, I'm still using my old keyboard. Is not a Model M, but it's an IBM Rubber Dome keyboard. It's this bad boy here, and I go back to it because this feels lovely. It's like as in it's not a mechanical keyboard, but as far as it's the best Rubber Dome keyboard I've ever used. It's lovely, and so I still use that for some stuff, and yeah, like it's just like, what the fuck. Like, this feels nicer, but what's the point in feeling nice if it doesn't fucking type everything reliably? That IBM keyboard's like 40 years old or something, and it's just bulletproof, absolutely bulletproof, and it's nice enough. So, like, you know, sometimes I do just put away the Logitech and I'm like, fuck it, I'll take a step back with feel for a reliable keyboard. Exactly. You had one job to be a fucking keyboard. Nah. But what it can do is flash it RGB lights at you, you know. And that's what's important here. Anyways, rant over. Yeah. And yeah, I would do. But I feel I also want to take it apart, and because it's a really nice frame, it's a chunk of aluminium, the frame is. I would love to take out the switches and replace the switches and the keycaps and have a brand new keyboard. But then it's got this dirty big Logitech logo on it, so I'll have to get acetone to that, and you know, and then just have it as a generic keyboard. I think that's the way to go, because I'm not gonna sit there with this beautiful keyboard and look at the Logitech logo, because I'm like, you didn't fucking build this. It's the jumping mystery keyboard. I did have one job to do and I am not doing it, but you know what, I also didn't pay me to do this. So I'm paying myself in wine, I suppose. I should really, yes, let's code. definitely didn't pay myself 120 quid. I can tell you that. But yeah, I was going to say, how much money did I make from the Solus boards? I was talking about that earlier. It's like the part where the jumping key is already my favorite. Yeah, I'd say maybe over the last 4 years I've made it maybe £1,000, £1,000 from Solus boards. So it's beer money basically, which is okay. I'm not complaining, absolutely not complaining. But I'm also, you know, I'm not going to get rich, and I'm not ripping people off. You want to see the dancing keys of joy? Let's do it. Let's do it. I think the U key does it as well. So let's do the U key, because you're typing, and you're just typing, and yeah. The U key is not doing it. What? There's some key up there. Oh, it's the D key. That's exactly what it is. The D key. Look at that shit. And the 4 key. It's not. Oh, there we go. I'm trying to remember what other keys there are that do it. I thought it was the U key. No, the U key is alright. But the arrow keys, these two keys. Look at that shit. Up and down are fine. You can do what you want to them. Fucking hell. What a hunk of junk. Anyways, right. Let's go code on a shit keyboard. Is that the Mobac? Yeah, it is. Ah, my god. So if anyone's watching from Logitech, fuck you guys, right? Fuck you. Now, what have I done to my code? Let's the beautiful stuff of the Amiga shortcuts. Look at that. Shift and delete. You delete to the end of the line. Shift to backspace. You delete to the start of the line. These are I miss these things every day when I'm using Windows. I'm out of wine. It has been a nice wine. Sorry, someone did ask me. It is the same bottle of wine I was drinking last week, because I only had a little bit out of it, because I had another bottle of wine last week and it topped it up with this. But it is a Cabernet Sauvignon from Marks & Spencer, and it was very nice. But yeah, unbelievable quality keyboard. It was so close, and it had one job. Sorry, Hardwired, I'm putting you asleep. Yes, let's go. Okay, right. So we got our blockers working again. Hold on a second. How did we get that working again? That's how it's supposed to look. What did we change? Getting hammered. Yes, I came here for the coding too, and I am also getting hammered. But I'm out of wine now, so let's concentrate. So what did I fix there? Let's try again. Let's unbuffer these guys. First, let's see if it's working when we do this. No, it's not working. So, why not? Why the devil? Oh, no, not that one. Why not? Oh, I know why. The buffer is the first variable, not the last variable, so I'm just deleting the y coordinate. Now, see, this is what happens when you drink wine. I think they're reasonable variable names. The y is where is the y coordinate. The speed variable. There isn't really... Okay, there's a speed variable. I'll show you that bit of code now in a minute, but I fixed this, I think, because we just get rid of the double buffer bit of code. There we go. There we go. Let's try this with cycle exact switched on. That's 50 frames a second. This is all running lovely. Oh. Oh. Yes, that seems to be working. Okay, let's speed up the CPU again. I'll show you the speed variable is how many pixels it goes. The dirty Papadon. Thank you very much for calling in. Yes. Yes, enjoy the drunken conversations in the car. I've been in that situation many of the time. Good night and thank you. So, where were we? Yes. So, what are we doing? Speed variable. So, the movement is ISO x minus speed. So the speed is a fractional variable, and basically what happens is every layer the speed gets increased. So it has nothing to do with the frame rate or anything like that. It's so once the frame rate is constant, the speed should be constant. Fall speed, that's a different speed variable. Fall speed, fall frame count greater than 1, speed. So every layer speed increases by 0.15, and the block color increases by quarter of a color. A quarter of 1 pen. So that's it. It's not a float. Technically, it's a quick. So I think maybe something weird happened to it there a while ago, but it's a quick, which is a fixed what would you call it? A fixed decimal point fractional. Yeah, 16.16 variable. But yeah, it's more than enough for what we're doing. I'm nearly sure it's a quick. Let's go up and have a look. Let's just make sure, but it's working fine most of the time. Yeah. So the quick variables are the X, Y, speeds, ISO variables, block falling variables, and the ISO, which is the ISO coordinates, and the block color. Yeah, so that's fine. Indeed, it doesn't, but it's normally a rounding issue, and I'm not worried about the actual value as such because it'll be close enough, and it'll the cumulative value should still be okay. But yeah, like whole numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. It's supposed to be a quick game, but yeah, whole numbers. I'd be slightly worried, but because when you go to use it for Blitz or for anything like that, it just rounds it. It just takes the integer version, so that should be fine. But yeah, I'm not using floats because they can be quite slow if you don't have an FPU. Someone's redone the Mario World music. Massive copyright strikes now because of this. Push. See, that got much quicker there. That got much quicker. Why? Let's try that again. That wasn't. I think that's quicker than it should be. Is that going at 25 hertz? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Actually, maybe I'm just drunk and it's like that's normal speed because I can actually hit that if I concentrate. Oh, that does feel very fast. You think the .q. Well, what we can do is we can change it to a .f. But yeah, it does work normally a lot of the time. I think that is getting quite fast now. After how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. Oh, sorry, I've got a number up the top right to tell me. 5 layers is getting much faster. Yeah. Yeah. But that feels like it's going too fast. I wonder, did I tune this with the issue of slow descent and stuff like that being there? I don't know, but that's the exact same behavior. Exactly, yeah. It's the same behavior, so I don't think it's a variable issue. Where am I going? Where am I going? Okay. Okay, so in the meantime, we figured out our blitting issue. Does that mean that this code actually works? It does. So now, although that red line is here's the thing, right? I see what's happening here. If you look at this, see this? There's a pixel of gray along there. You see it? This is an issue. I think the copper is resetting there, and that's starting to count as the next frame. See that? That's nowhere to start the next frame, because it only turns red after. So we've got green here, that's our game logic, and then black to show that we're clear of anything. That's black is like free space. Then we've got grey and red when it starts blitting again. Why is it blitting down at the bottom of the frame? I'll show you. So up at the top of the loop, no, that's drawing the shape. Main loop, there's our grey. At the bottom of the loop, I'm going to change it to a different color, just to show that it's not like random, or it's not like kind of a. Let's change it to blue, a dark blue, a pale blue. Middling blue. Oof, that's an ugly blue. See, so this, all this blue space here, that is free time in the frame, and then the frame resets here. Now when I change this to cycle exact. Oh, what was that about? But anyways, when I change the cycle exact, you can see that the frames are, it's blue down to the bottom. Now I don't know why it's green at the bottom either, but yeah, let's not mind that. So there's our blitting. Well, the blitting goes as far as here. Then there's our game logic. And this is empty time in the frame. Let's see what happens when you do a it's actually very little difference between frames. So look, see the block has got much smaller. Look how little blitting time I'm using now. That's a hell of an optimization. I could do all sorts of stuff now. But that speed seemed okay as well. Let's Let's speed it up. Oh, and let's look at the speed again. The speed. That's after doubling in speed there. I feel like that has sped up because it's rolling over to the next frame. I think there's something funny going on with the emulation. Chipset, cycle exact. We're not taxing the emulation. That is... We've got loads of time spare. That is idle time. Computer's doing nothing in that space there, except waiting for the next frame. The next frame, I don't understand why the emulation's doing that, but it's doing that because I don't know. Anyways, you gotta go. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Well, you know, we're probably still not going to finish it tonight. Thank you. And sure, next time. Next time we'll fix things. But I feel like I've made some massive optimizations here that have fixed the issue with slowdown when we split tiles. So I'm happy with that. I'll talk to you next time, Hardwired. Thank you very much for dropping in. The Guru. Oh yes, absolutely. I will look at that tomorrow, I'm sure. Oh, that's a horrible flickery screen. Good night. Everyone else staying around for a little while? I'm out of wine. I'm just wondering, should I go and get another drink? See if there's another drink in the fridge. Who's still here? Who still has beer? You'll be around? Okay. I'm going to see what I have in the fridge. Indeed. Right. I will be back momentarily. Talk to you just in a minute. Right. Back soon. Yeah. You're in the bath. Oh, there's an image. Well, I got me a can of Guinness. There's one can of Guinness in the fridge. And I got me my Steam... Well, I've got a couple of Steam Train pint glasses. This one's from Bunkfest. And I was at a random... Basically, I was in the countryside in... kind of, I suppose, England. So, southern England and Oxfordshire, I think it was. And what happened was, my wife and I, well, she was my girlfriend then, were kind of cruising around the countryside looking for something to do, and we just came across... Oh, this is a dreadful pour. Sorry, I've poured this like a normal beer, and it's done me dirty. I've done myself dirty. But basically, we came across a Bunkfest, which is a festival that's held once a year in this small town, where basically it's really famous. Where this train left the station without the carriages attached, so it was just the engine just drove off without the coaches. And it was it's such a famous thing that it was used as sort of the basis for one of the Thomas the Tank Engine stories. But it's called bunking off without your train. You know, the engine bunked on its train, or bunked off without the train or whatever. Basically, every year on the anniversary of this thing, they have a big festival where they run a steam train up and down the tracks, and they have all these old kind of carnival machines, and they have all you know, like a beer festival thing going on. So they were selling this like a pint glass to go with it, and you kind of go around the different stalls and try the different beers and stuff, and it was, oh god, it was like, it was such a random day, because we were just going through the countryside. Let's find a nice little country pub to have lunch in, you know. I have not been there since. No, it must be like it must be pushing. It must be about more than 15 years ago. Jesus, I must go back. Oh, that's quite the shock from the wine. That is a cold thing. Yeah. How many folk bands were there? How many folk bands? Many. They even had Morris dancers. But they also had loads of like traction engines, steam traction engines and stuff like that. So it was, I'm going to see if I can find any kind of reference to it. Bunkfest. Wallingford Bunkfest. South Oxfordshire. '21st year of life. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that's it. That's my glass. I'm just trying to think. Wallingford, yeah. What was I doing there? 4th to 6th of September. And I remember it was a lovely day. Yeah, there you go. No, that was fantastic stuff. And yeah, I got to go up and down the track on a steam. You know, they own a mile of track that's like that was basically abandoned, and one little steam engine, and you know, a couple of coaches. It's very small. But the thing is, in the UK, that you can go anywhere and you'll find like a vintage railway within a few miles. It's mad. And this was astonishing to me, because I used to volunteer on the steam railways, or the steam engines and the steam trains in Ireland, and we don't have any preserved railways like that. We were very early to get rid of our steam, for reasons basically related to Britain, because after the Second World War there was a shortage of coal, and the UK held on to all their coal, and we didn't have any of our own coal, so we basically were starved of coal, and so we first off started doing burning turf in our steam engines, but very quickly converted to diesel. And so we were early adopters of diesel, if you like, and so we scrapped all our steam engines, and because they were kind of like, oh, they're obsolete and we need steel, and there's a lack of steel in the world as well. So we kind of scrapped all our steam engines to make diesel engines, and then that was it. We only have in the whole of Ireland 3 or 4 working steam engines, and that's it. And we can't even import them because we have a different size tracks to the UK. So it's like, that's it. So so there you go. So I used to volunteer on those, and they wouldn't run on private tracks. They would run just on the main line, and we'd only have 3 or 4 that could do it. And because there was a bad accident in Ireland because of old coaches being used, like it wasn't a vintage train, it was just a train with old coaches. Because they were due to be replaced and they weren't. Basically the laws were changed and you can't run wooden bodied coaches anymore. And it's a crying shame because you get vintage railways all over the UK that run the vintage coaches and the vintage engines, and in Ireland you can't run those coaches because there are no private railways. There's only the main line. Yeah, you always guess that all the volunteer heritage railways exist because the council branch lines. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what happened, because British Rail were happy to sell off the stuff at a reasonably cheap price. All as in, if you're going to buy 6 or 7 miles of line and land and all that to do with it, it's still going to cost you a massive chunk of money. But they sold it off at reasonable prices, so that's why so many of them exist in the UK. Whereas in Ireland, there was no such thing. They sold them off and built houses on them. So I think we have this situation in Dublin where they've built like tram lines. Now, they started building the tram lines maybe 15 years ago, 18 years ago maybe. But in the last 20 years, they started building the trams in Dublin, because Dublin had loads of trams. They got rid of them all because, the car is the future. And so then they sold. So basically, they got rid of the trams and built, that was it. But there were also railway lines coming into Dublin from different directions that they closed and sold the land for. So, that was in the 50s, the 1950s. And then in the 2010s, they're buying back this land for 100 times the price because it's going through people's gardens now. And it was just like railway line going through farmland. And now it's this highly sought after area, and they have to buy this corridor of land straight through people's gardens and stuff to rebuild the tram line on where used to be a railway line. And it's like, this is mental. This is short-sightedness. This is what happens when governments only see as far as the next election. But anyways, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, George, you're familiar with that. That's the Lewis Green line. That's what I'm talking about. That used to be a train line that went to Shangana from Harcourt Street. And there was a famous crash where a train came through the wall at Harcourt Street. It's not there's a famous picture of a train going like this down onto the thing, and that's in France. That's not the Harcourt Street, but there is a photograph of a train that crashed through the wall in Harcourt Street. And that was back in the day, but that came from Shangana, which is not far from Shankill. Norwich used to have 3 stations. One is the Sainsbury's. Yeah, in Dundrum, the Dundrum station is now a house, and now the trams go past it because there was an old viaduct there, and the trams go across the old viaduct. But the station was up high. It was a high level station, and then there was you know, they bought the viaduct, but the station house is still there, or the station building is still there, and still someone's house. So now you're going by in the Lewis and you're just looking straight into someone's window. it's bizarre. Yeah, it's mad. People complain in Glasgow because the airport doesn't have a railway link. Now, Dublin Airport is massive compared to Glasgow. Glasgow Airport, I love Glasgow Airport because it definitely punches above its weight, because it's a small, low volume airport with a massive runway. Someone did a great job of forward planning there, because that runway will land anything on it. Because you get things from little island hoppers that go from Glasgow to the Scottish Islands, and they hold like 6-seat planes, 10-seat planes that take off from Glasgow. And you've got the A380 will land there and also fly to the Middle East. And you're like, it's all from the same runway, from the same terminal. Like, so Glasgow Airport's pretty cool that way, but there's no railway line to it. And so people complain about it. But I think it's kind of like a nice airport because it's a nice size. Whereas Dublin's enormous, and it doesn't have a railway to it. And it really should. It really, really should. But anyways. Awful lot of trains chat. I'm going to have a trains stream. Definitely. Bit of train simulator, bit of whatever the what was that, Transpennine Express earlier? I'll be all over that. I think we should do that. Oh, this is on slow mode. So, where were we? What were we doing? Try the A train. Yes. You know what? I'm gonna have a couple of see, this is the thing. It's all about time. I want to have a couple of practice runs at A train to see if I can remember how to play it properly, because I used to be actually quite good at it. I had quite a developed city that would sustain itself. I'll have to load up that save game and just see the layout and then try and aim for that. Because I'm sure I still have it somewhere. I still have all my Amiga stuff from back in the day. But okay, so what were we doing here? You went into an aviation museum the other day. They showed us around their Nimrod. Said they knew it was theirs when it landed at Norwich, because Norwich is only big enough to land a Nimrod. Not big enough for a Nimrod to take off. Oh, right. So you've got one shot at this. You've got one. There you go. Yeah. The Nimrod's a bit of a beast, all right. It's a bizarre aircraft. It's worth a Google if you're kind of even moderately interested in airplanes. The Nimrod is quite the thing. Quite the thing. It was like a big. I'm trying to even remember what its purpose was, but it was like sort of a search and rescue kind of aircraft that could do long distances over the ocean. Was it a bomber? I don't think it was a bomber. It was a support aircraft. Oh my god! I might be talking through my hole now. But there's one in the Scottish Aviation Museum in Edinburgh as well, which is very cool. Yeah, Maritime Patrol. Yeah. There we go. So it was for long distance kind of ocean surveying things, but it had the kind of same kind of I'm just looking at there. It's quite the machine, quite the weird looking machine. Had the in-wing engines of the Comet and stuff like that. Bizarre looking thing. But anyways, yeah, because that's the thing. The one in the Scottish Aviation Museum. It has a refueling probe as well. Something made a noise over there. I think it was the can settling. Okay, what was I doing? What's going on? Where were we? Made for hunting Russian subs, right? Yeah, that would explain things. See, that seems far too quick to me. Oh yeah, because it's not on cycle exact, so we're getting a new frame here. Why the fuck why? I think this is a Blitz bug, and I'm gonna talk to Sven about this, because, or maybe not even a Blitz bug, but this is a hardware thing. Because on a PAL screen, you started at 44 pixels down, which is there. So our overscan starts here, and then the actual screen area starts here, and that's 44 pixels down. And this happens at like 256 pixels down from 0. But the actual display only starts at 44 pixels, so you have to reset the copper list here. And I think that's what's happening. Had loads of CRTs and vintage tech, but yeah. Microsoft. Yeah, that's you know, someone's replaced a machine with, you know, a slightly newer machine. Yeah, in my old job, we used to we worked with medical equipment, and the we had some machines that were very difficult to replace. Like it was difficult, as in they had to run the same software, and they had to have the same hardware timing, because the machine was controlled by an ISA board. And so if the motherboard didn't take an ISA, it was like, you know, what the fuck. So we did we had built this machine, and it had, the timing of it was yeah, it was interesting, because it had a USB and it had a zip drive, and we used to give software updates on zip disks. Yeah, and it ran Windows 2000. Now we're talking about 2015 or so. Okay, I think this is actually working reasonably well, other than this is, look at this. This is around about the same point. The copper list is getting reset. No, it's all good. I'm all for the nerdy chats. Yeah, I see what you did there. But yeah, this line here is where the copper list is getting reset. Or is it? It looks to be about the same, yeah. I'm gonna leave the mouse there. Mouse is there. It's not quite, but I think that might be the frame. That might be the amount of time between the frame actually starting, and me laying down the new palette. Bonus train nerdy points here, right? There was a game, and I was talking about them earlier, on the Atari 8-bit that's also called Railroad Tycoon. And it was released as Railroad Tycoon, and then they changed the name a little while later, I think because of the actual Railroad Tycoon game. Which was a much bigger deal on the much fancier computers. But it was a similar idea, you know, you lay down tracks and you kind of control the train timetables and stuff like that, and the junctions and stuff, but much simpler. But I'll have to do that on stream as well. I must get the Atari 8-bit out on stream. I do like it. But other than this being a bit of a pain with the sync, let's put it on. Yeah, I will do. Let's do that sometime. I'm not going to do it now because it'll take half an hour to set up the cables and stuff, and you don't want to be seeing that. Why is that way over to the right? What's just happened here? What has happened? Was it always over there? Why is that black? I'm setting my end of frame marker here. Oh, it's because I've done so much today. Yes. Set up the Atari 800. No. No. Oh, it was always to the far right, was it? Sorry, yes, okay. That's just the Amiga thing, but okay, so this is just, look at how little blitting time I'm doing now that the shape is like, it's really small. That used to be down here all the time because I was still blitting like 100 pixels by 60 pixels in 5-bit planes. So I'm dead chuffed with that now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Okay. So, I think we're in good shape here. Bum 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 bum. That music was made in oh no, not that one. HD Rec, which was also written in Blitz Basic. Okay, interesting music. Wendigo. Okay, thank you very much for calling in. Night, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Whatever it is you're doing, enjoy, and I'll see you. Oh, I might not be here next week. We'll see what happens. But I'll try and I'll get a stream in sometime. Right, listen. Good night, and thank you so much for calling in. Weird music. What the fuck is this? Mistress of Love, apparently. Night. I hope you enjoyed your bath, Friar. And yes, thank you as well for calling in. And I'll talk to you soon. I will chat to you somewhere along the way. Cheers. Good night. Ihawa in Irish. Oscailga. I wonder who was sampled for that. Is it like from a film, or is it from Dodgeness, or someone recorded themselves, or their other half? Anyways. Right. Are we in? No, we're in fast mode. So that's all fixed. I feel like we can do away with all the color things. We'll put it back to the normal mode. Actually, oh, I used it somewhere else. I used a macro for doing the oh no, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, no, let's keep that together. Where are my functions? Let's do a macro here. Oh, what did I do that in? Was it? No, open new. Open new. Was it Ouija Nights? Where I had a function? Or not a function, a macro for doing the (2022). Oh my god, what date was that? 31st of 20. Well, oh, Cami, welcome in. How are you? I hope you're well. I've just realized I'm trying to find some code that I need for a little macro of code, and I'm looking at my date stamp for Ouija nights is the 31st day of the 20th month. I don't know what that means. I'm okay. Yeah, I've had a good week, and it is Friday night, and I've had some wine. I'm having a Guinness. It's great to see you, Cammy. Good morning to you, and I don't think I was speaking to you since, but congratulations on the game jam, because that was a thing well executed, and as always, it was so good, but so many good games came from that, and so much awareness of the situation. You had some beers last night, and you're still up early. My appreciation to you. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Yes. No. I think it's easy to forget, and it's easy to overlook the immense amount of work that goes into organizing any event. And the bigger the event, and the sort of like the bigger it is in the community, the more work is involved, and it's like an exponential thing. But I think it was great. I think you did a great job, and I was watching the results stream there on Amiga Build there a little while ago. I think you were fantastic, and I think everyone appreciates it. Yeah, it's like every year there's like 20 or so good games, and I think Hardwired has gone there a little while ago, but Hardwired had one of the entries, and he was just in the chat here, and he's just after leaving. It's really super of Aaron to come through for us at the last minute as a last minute judge, because the guy had asked, I'm interested, she got flaky on me. Yeah, you need someone reliable. I'm curious now who you asked first. It's one of those things, I can kind of understand how people might get flaky, because it's something, for example, I would love to do it, but at the same time, I'm not saying you should, I should do it, but it's the kind of thing that's like, oh yeah, no, I'll definitely do that, and then like, oh my god, the amount of time that I need to dedicate to this is really tricky, and it's I just can't afford the actual amount of time involved in this. And and of course I'm sacrificing family time with that, and I've got a 1-year-old child, or a less than 1-year-old child, who needs a lot of care, and and just whatever little spare time I have, I still think I'm 25 in my head and have loads of time. And it's just, that's not how the world works. It was really you really wanted to follow through with the entrance and put together a team to make an arcade stand. Doc Mac from Galloping Ghost Arcade. I see. Yeah, see, I don't know who that is, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If the theme is an arcade theme, yeah, that does make a lot of sense to have a judge from that perspective, because because I would imagine they will have everyone in the Amiga community will judge it on like Amiga merits, and it would be a different story if for someone on it would be a different story for someone who's not in Amiga circles and in the actual kind of like the target circle, if you like. Yeah, no, that was a really good idea, and it's just a shame it didn't work out. Anyways, there were a couple of people earlier asked me, did I miss the the game jam with this game, and this is a very, very simple game, but you've seen it a couple of times before. But I think it's almost working well. I just have to I'm trying to find a macro of code that I want to transplant from one set of code into another. Oh, and it's not there. At least Neil has own account. Yes, absolutely. I think Neil did a nice job of being a judge. He's Ouija Nights. Ouija Nights is cool. Oh yeah, there it is. BG call. That's the macro I want. So Ouija Funks. Put it here. I'm trying to find that macro. Did you see? Because this was anyone who doesn't know, Ouija Nights. It was my entry into the Amiga game, or no, the Blitz Basic game jam a few years ago. And well, I say my entry. I did the coding. A couple of other people did the graphics and the thing. Let's give it a run now anyway. And let's see what happens. But yeah, there was a Blitz Basic game jam. Ooh. Yeah, that's the one. And this is running far quicker than it should. But anyways, this is Ouija Nights. Oh, this is debug mode. Oh, I see what's happened here. Let's quit that. Yeah, let's not do this. But let's projects Ouija Nights. Where is Ouija Nights? Yes. I haven't played it in a while. Let's play it because you guys have seen it, but there's a few other people here. I wonder if they've played it, because I think I've lost my concentration on the code now. So let's just play games. Where's Ouija Nights? I don't have it here. I do have it because I literally loaded the code for it. Where is it? That's really weird. Amiga's project, Ouija Night, Amiga Blitz projects. Oh, let's show the hidden drawers. I have many projects that aren't part of the thing. I presume it's in there somewhere. No. I don't understand what's happening. Files, Amiga Blitz projects, Ouija Nights. Files, Amiga Blitz projects, image test. Oh, there's a fucking my D key gone again. What was I saying about this shitty keyboard? Files behind it. Yeah, maybe it was hidden there. But it should have highlighted it when I was typing the name. WAV repair. That's what I was talking about that earlier. WB Tic-Tac-Toe. I was talking about that earlier. Oh my god, so many projects. So many half-finished projects. Ouija Nights is there. Look, it's there. It's... You know what? Let's... View by name. Now that's not hidden behind any icons. What's going on here? Oh my god, what is happening? No, look at that. I literally dragged that in. So, files, Amiga Blitz, projects, Ouija Nights. What? So if I pick this one, let's say, WB Tic-Tac-Toe 2, Files, AmiBlitz projects. Although I should show you this anyway. This was a remake of the, oh god, what is happening here? I made this game years ago. Let's do this one first. But it's tic-tac-toe between two players, and it was a stalemate. Yeah, grand. But what you have is CPU players who will play a good game and get you to a stalemate. And then what you also have is dimensions, 3 dimensions. Who play a good game. And now I'm on the back foot here already. Oh, that one. What are you doing, computer? What are you doing? I won. There you go. Anyways, that was, yeah, that was, I was talking about that earlier because I made the graphics in Cinema 4D. Not that they're fancy or anything, it's just like balls, but I used the same graphics for Atoms that I made. Anyway, right. It's not there, and it's here. That's really weird. Anyways, here is Ouija Nights. Ouija Nights. There. Ouija Nights. And there we go. So that's better. Stone Cold Sober. Let's find the Irish bar, which is down here. The Shamrock. Shamrocks. The Irish Nectar. We'll go with the Guinness because I'm drinking Guinness. I think should put up the music a little bit. Or the sound. Mm-hmm. I can't go in there, can I? Okay. Oh, yeah, it's closed. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. This is Ouija Nights. I had a couple of extra features that I wanted to add were cars traveling on the road, because when you get really, really drunk, you won't be able to get out of the way quick enough. And so you can get run over, and you're trying to cross the road, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so drunk, and the car runs you over. That was one feature. The other feature was the Biffa bins. You see these Biffa bins here? The idea was, if you're absolutely fucked, that you can go and sleep in one of them, and that adds an extra 4 or 5 hours onto your time, but then you're completely knackered. So you're in a bad way then. But that was the intention of the Biffa bins, but I haven't implemented them yet either. And that blue-haired guy is Johnny. Johnny the Highlands GP lost in Glasgow. Because he's a friend of ours from the Scottish Amiga group, and he had blue hair and he got lost in Glasgow. And he just kept running. He just kept running. Oh dear. Yeah, he did some of the graphics for this actually. Oh, glitch-tastic. Where's the door for this? Oh. Let's have a pint. And another pint. And a bottle of Buckfast. Yeah, there's some glitches. Who are you? Oh no, he's mugging me. I asked you. Get the fuck. Oh, you bet the shit out of me. So, do you notice any similarities with the high score table? Yeah, let's go again. Let's go again. Okay, now sausage roll. Sausage roll from Greg's. Nope, this is working. Fucking Iron Brew. Iron Brew. That'll sober me up a little bit, because internally this is running actually quite an elaborate simulation of you got alcohol levels and food levels and liquid levels, and they're all balanced against each other, and so there's actually quite an elaborate calculation going on. So it's like a drunk simulator. And based on, like, every drink has an alcohol level. And, yeah. So the Marrowlands. Yeah. Barras. The Barrowlands. The Loudman Tavern. Yeah, I may have had too much now. There's a guy here who deals drugs. Yay! And you can use that way later in the game when all the pubs have closed and you come out, you fall out of a nightclub. You can have a chat with that guy, and if you've got any money left, you can pep yourself up for the rest of the night. Or completely fuck yourself over because you have no idea what's in that pill. Literally, it's a random number. Hey Johnny, here's your wallet. Thank you. I am getting a bit drunk. I will have a pint of Guinness, sure. We're fucking hammered anyway. It's getting difficult to walk. Oh, some roof tiles there, warping in. Javier, good night to you. Good night to you. And thanks for dropping in. This is my story of being a drunken Irish guy in Glasgow. But good night and thank you, and I'll talk to you again soon. I'm very drunk. I need to sober up. Someone give me some. Oh, I'm leaning a certain way. Oh, there's Greg's. I'm gonna get coffee in Greg's. Uh-oh, I think I'm fucked. I can't get to Greg's. Give me a sausage roll. Oh dear, and it's not. I'm gonna have whatever that was, and an Iron Brew, and another sausage roll. I'm gonna be full of shit. Chicken mushroom pie. All the things to try and sober myself up. Oh, I'm just pressing the same direction, and he's just like up and down and all over the place. I think I'm too drunk. Who's this fair maiden? Oh no, they've gone. Oh my god, I can't even walk. That's Johnny, I think, again. Oh yeah, I'm sobering up now. So let's get a pint of Tennent's. Slight limitation of this game. Well, just slightly bitching through the tiles there as well. But a slight limitation that you've got the diagonals are the normal direction. So when you go diagonal on a diagonal, it actually kind of ends up being faster. But yeah, let's call it a bug. You're heading off, George. Thank you very much for dropping in. Thank you, appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon. Good night. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Alright, let's get another pint. Yeah. Slightly glitchy. Hey, there's the spoons. Uh-oh. I may be actually fucked. Uh-oh. Talking shite. Oh yeah, I'm sobering up now. So let's just get let's get another pint, because I feel like I can handle that. I cannot walk across the road. I can't walk forwards. I can't walk anywhere. No, the police are after me. What's this? Oh no! Oh, where the fuck did she come from? Oh, I got my name on the scoreboard. Yeah, I got nicked because I stole someone's wallet earlier. That's what that was about. Yeah. Anyways, there we go. Right, I might call it there. Yeah, I think yeah, most people are headed to bed now anyway. Let's see who's around. Should I raid someone? Who's on my raid thingy me jiggy? Yeah, so I didn't finish the game today, obviously. I will finish it next time. Let's go and raid someone. Who have we got? We've got Kiffer Geo. We've got, let's see, who am I following? Kiffer Geo, Charlie Farr. Oh, Irok. Let's raid Irok. He raised me a lot, so let's go raid him. He's doing some Scorpion engine development. So
here.
Let's knock on his door and go and have a look. All right, listen. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.
Okay. Charge. Okay, I might be able to get to the end this time. But yeah, just love that that far background with the river running underneath. Hello, Delitus 2097. Oh, and thank you for the raid. That is much appreciated. So we are playing Rex 2, which is sequel to Rex and the Galactic Plague, and I've made it to the end of this level. Or have I? Oh no, it's like a boss fight, or a I guess a little bit like you know, the end of level sequences on Commando, where you've got to get through